Hello, everyone. Welcome to Organize Your Life, where Soumya meets Soumya for the simple pleasures of life. And really, folks, it couldn't get more simpler or more pleasurable. And here we are to hang out and chill out with you and to celebrate this festive season, to celebrate that Devi Shakti, that epitome of valor, power, love, sacrifice, knowledge, wisdom, compassion, anything you want to call it. That which is basic in nature and that which resonates in the cosmos. We are here to celebrate all those qualities which are lively in you and they're lively in I. And they are vibrantly lively in my two lovely friends here tonight, Soumya and Soumya. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing us so much positivity, cheer. Thank you for being such amazing sports through all the troubleshooting we were doing and through all the challenges that we had and the couple of laughs that we got in the process as well. So amazing.
Life without a few challenges, right? That's what makes it interesting.
Isn't it? And then we actually got to exercise that ultimate quality. So we talked about the Devi quality and all elements of divinity. But folks, what is life without a bit of jugaad? So we got to experience that as well. I think now, we're complete. All right. So, Sumi,
Yeah.
my friend, yeah. So you and I have shared a spiritual path in our lives. We have shared the same fabulous spiritual mentor. We shared a practice between us and we shared this immense love and also this awe and respect that I feel for you, Soumya. You are a prolific art of living coach. You've had, and not to embarrass you, and that's okay if you blush a little. It all goes with that festive theme and makeup. It's all good. So you've held many national offices as well, my dear. You're very popular, and you handle a lot of responsibility for this nonprofit organization. By profession and professional qualification, you are a pediatrician, no less. And you're someone, in your own words, who says that they gave up medication in lieu of, or rather to pursue meditation. So that is beautiful. That is so soulful. And Soumya, my dear friend Soumya Rajesh, you and I met, I think, through a local sari club. And we are both sari aficionados over here. And we've shared.
We met before that at a common friend's house.
Common friend's house as well. Yes, in our beautiful sari ensemble.
Yes.
And then we found out that we both have background in IT and clinical research and whatever we do professionally. But then there's just so many sensibilities that we share as well. And you are also a fellow blogger in your own way. And you are a fitness enthusiast as well. So much synergy there too. So now at this point, ladies, handing it over to you, would love for you to come here, share your stories, share a piece of your soul with us. Sumi, let's bring you on.
So first of all, it's so amazing that we both have Soumya. So just for everybody who's watching, so the first thing we discussed was how will Naveeksha distinguish which Soumya is she calling on the call? Like, is it me or is it Soumya? So then I figured, you can call me Sumi on the call, which is easier. So I'm grateful to be here. Naveeksha, you are such a natural at bringing people together and creating such a beautiful space for all of us to share. So thank you for having me here. What would you like me to share? Anything?
So Sumi, our theme tonight is just celebrating the simplicity and lightness in life. So would love to hear from you that this COVID phase it's certainly not been ordinary. And I'm sure that we could choose much colorful vocabulary depending on the mood to describe this phase. How has this phase been for you, Sumi, in a way that, how has it impacted you personally? And then any significant turning point, realization, or even on a lighter note, any funny story or anecdote that you can share with us today?
Yeah, I think there's never been a more important time than now to celebrate simple pleasures in life, because they have become very important. Right? Because many of the things that we typically consider enjoyable are not available to us anymore. So simple pleasures have taken a lot more center stage, like they should anyway. So this time has been very interesting. It's been difficult. I won't, it's not been easy, but it has also not been too bad. So sometimes, it feels like the whole world is in a pressure cooker, including me. But then there are days when it's lighter and it's better, and it has its ups and downs. But we have our health, we have our family, so there's lots to be grateful for. And what amazes me is how resilient human beings are, that whatever situation we are put in, we find a way to celebrate, we find a way to be happy. And that's a testament to our spirit, that we're able to make the best of every situation. So this year we'll all celebrate our holidays in quarantine. Many virtual birthday parties are happening, virtual things are happening, and we have found a way to connect. So for me personally, it's been good. It's been difficult, but it has brought me closer to my family. They have been a huge support in this time, and I've been able to cut out a lot of trivial things that somehow it's easier to focus on the more important thing. A lot of noise has been cut out of life. I don't know if you both feel that there's a lot less noise now, and it has slowed down, which has been good. I do. My biggest challenge is what to make for dinner, what to make for lunch every day. I don't know if you guys notice, but every time you go to the grocery store, you end up buying the same five things. And if anybody wants to start a group where we all share what we are making, and so we can get ideas what to cook, I would be up for that.
Lovely, lovely. Yeah, I just found many common, synchronous, in fact, happenings and experiences out of my own life. And I'm sure so many people, will feel the same way as well.
Yeah, it's been difficult for most of us being at home, even though our families are great, but having to spend all day with them in a limited confined space obviously has its challenges. But at the same time, I feel it has also brought families together, and so it's good
Yeah.
in that way.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, my radiant Samya, tell us a little, please, about yourself. And then, yeah, how has this phase been the same or different for you?
So, Navi, as you had posted on your page earlier, I come from the clinical research industry, and I've been used to working from home for the last 7 years completely. And before that, I was working from home intermittently for a couple of years before that. So I've been used to, getting into a schedule, getting into my routine as soon as I pack my daughter off to school and the husband's left for work. I have the house to my, I used to have the house to myself. I would enjoy my peace and quiet. I would do my morning routine and a little bit of meditation and get to work. And it used to really be my chill time, my me zone. Um, since the lockdown, that has been thrown for a toss. There's everybody at home. So the initial few weeks was a period of adjustment. I was thrilled before we all started working together from home. I was so thrilled that, okay, my husband's going to finally be working from home. He's not going to travel. It'll be great. We'll have, awesome family meals together and everything. But guess what? It was more adjustment than the euphoria. So I think we all learned a little bit, but like Soumya said, it brought families together. So there's the silver lining to the pandemic. We got to focus more on our home because everybody was home at the same time. So you all, it's not like you're waiting for your spouse to come back from work and then you have to discuss something with him, or you wait to discuss something over the weekend. Instead, you're doing it in between during the day, as and when you can. So there was a lot of focus on the home. People were into home improvement projects. They decided to bring a pet home. I think that's a lot of positivity and a lot of good changes happening there. So I can't complain. Of course, like you said, it's simple pleasures in life, simple challenges that make life more interesting. So that's what I have to take away from it.
Beautiful, right? And we all are thrown in the midst of challenges. We all have awkward moments. We all have issues that we need to work through. And literally, that is the name of this phenomena called life. It's replete with all those experiences. And it's never easy. I know, very gracefully, with much smile and with so much joy, in fact, emanating from both of you, you explained this phase with, with the chaos, the confusion, the relief, the challenges, everything. But I'm sure it wasn't as easy, or at least in the moment, there is aggravation. In the moment, there is exasperation. Yeah. Sometimes you feel like venting, sometimes you feel like ranting, and stuff happens. But then how do you bounce back from that stuff to rediscover this place of joyousness and peace and tranquility, and simply taking things in your stride and brushing off the noise and the baggage? How do you do that? Is there a secret that you each have? Soumya, I know a little about your journey, but can you please speak more openly and share with everyone out there? What is your secret to this joy and to this simplicity?
I think this time has been very isolating for people. People who get sick with COVID obviously have to isolate, but also because our social connectivity stopped, everybody sort of got isolated. If you are lucky to live with somebody, if you have a family, you're lucky, you have another human being. But for many people, it was like just being alone all day at home. And so, and it's definitely, I've had days when, I've had dark days where I felt like everything was just ending and I didn't know what to do. But yes, I find a way to bounce back. And there are three things that help me. The first thing is my own practice. So my meditation. So whatever is going on in my life, however bad it is, however many tears flow or anger comes, I know I can meditate. And when I meditate, when I do my breathing practices, when I meditate, it brings me back to my center, at least more than where I was before. So my meditation has been a huge boon for me in terms of calming my mind, being able to handle my emotions, and being able to find my center and reset with whatever is happening, because the situation has changed so much in the last few months. We thought it'll be over by May, and then how it is now. The second thing that has helped me is my family. So my mom, my sister, my husband, there are really three people who also meditate, who also are in wisdom. So talking to them, they always uplift me. They say that definition of good company is one that makes your problem seem lesser, not the one that makes your problem seem bigger. So talking to them always uplifts me. We laugh, we discuss things, and it brings out a deeper perspective in life. And the third thing has been helping others. So I feel that because there's so much isolation and so much distress, I have been doing whatever I can in my own small way to provide people some relief. And because that allows me to connect with people and allows me to share with people and also hear how other people are doing virtually through Zoom, the meditation classes. They have been a huge a part of feeling normal and feeling connected and feeling normal through all of this.
I just couldn't help but notice, Soumya, as you described your different, pillars that have held you and supported you through this phase, and I'm sure as through other experiences in life as well, that there was this very beautiful sort of tandem between the internal and the external. As in, you have incorporated, or you've always had these tools, which are part and parcel of your life and your lifestyle, that help you unwind and relieve stress and harmonize your emotions internally, at that level. And then you have your family support, this the human connection and human relationship support that also fuels you in a positive way, right? So that is charging you up internally and cleansing you internally. And then you are looking to consciously, get that wealth of calmness or a peace, and then you're igniting that with an intent of contributing and helping others. You're bringing your internal calmness, serenity, and then you are sharing that externally with those around you who might not have either be privileged enough to have all those tools, or might not have the awareness of how to optimize and channelize the tools available to them. So that was beautiful, Sumi. Just warmed me up listening to you there. Thank you so much for sharing with all of us. And Soumya, I'm sure you have some very beautiful secrets and tips as well. So girlfriend, looking forward to hearing from you.
So I have a cheat sheet up here, so I'm going to glance up for a second. It's not that I planted it there, but it's been there. It's always there. Since I started my fitness journey in 2017, October, I found I used to resource little quotes and passages that will motivate me to stay on track, and not just physically, but mentally, spiritually. So there's something that I came across which is very interesting. They're called the 5 Ps, and I'm going to read that out. It's perspective. So when you're faced with a challenge, you put things in perspective and figure out what's the worst that can come out of this. So then that leads to the next P, which is pivot. So once you see what's the worst that can come out of it, you pivot it and turn it into an opportunity. You say, how can I turn this into an opportunity? And then pharmacy, move out and do an exercise, make an activity out of your schedule. Go for a walk, or, do a quick 15 minutes of yoga. Do something physically that will stimulate the blood circulation and clear your brain up. Pages is the next P. So you can write about your experiences, right? If you're feeling bad about something, they say you write it down on a piece of paper and tear it up, and that kind of nullifies the bad feeling about it. Or you can just make a journal out of it, write a blog, write a journal. And lastly, planet. And this is something I enjoy very much. I'm going to miss it during the winter months, but I'm going to bring my plants inside. So you give back to the planet. I connect with the earth by having herbs and little saplings. I put them in the ground and I enjoy watching them bloom. This year, especially the 6 months of lockdown has been so amazing, that earth has just sprung back to life. The flora and fauna have thrived, so to speak. Flowers that had not bloomed for 2 years have bloomed, the hydrangea and the hibiscus, and they've just bloomed so profusely. I don't know if it's just that, earth has reset herself, or because I've had the time to give a little more attention, a little more TLC to the garden. So this is what recharges me and rejuvenates and brings me back on the path.
Thank you so much. That was, again, very, very enlightening and also very uplifting to listen to that, Soumya. And as you mentioned, I think we've all noticed this, that nature has been on this cleansing, purging spree, and she is freeing herself up. So just the way you mentioned that the noise has reduced, right? And I think she is feeling that as well in many ways. And she's coming out and she's dancing and celebrating. And we see the evidence of that in the form of all this bright, vibrant, lush foliage. Animals have been seen in the midst of metropolitans, right, which were thronged by people and litter and garbage and tourists in the past. So nature is rejoicing. Yeah. Yeah. And I loved, Soumya, that you have, very tactical, very implementable steps out there. They're not abstract, they're very specific. So if you stick to a plan, if you stick to a template, and yours is perfect for you, and it is a very it's a great template in itself, But I think the message here for anyone is that have a set of tools, identify your own tools, research, listen to a self-development coach, find something that works for you. But then end of the day and day to day, you got to implement it. Soumya, this has worked for you because you are practicing what that sticky says to you, and not just by virtue of having that sticky right there in front of you. You're doing it. And, the magic of it is that when you implement, when you do, things flow. And when things flow, you flow. That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. So I see, again, I think some of this lightness that you ladies have also comes from maybe some of your, not just your spiritual evolution and your thought process and your quality as a person. I think there's also something to do here a little bit with your interests and passions and self-care and making time for yourself and your interests. Am I on the right track? Sumi?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Lovely. All right. Anybody would love to hear, your little secrets there.
Soumya, you want to go first or shall I share?
I think we should hear you first because I was going to ask you that myself.
All right. I think interests are very important in life. Otherwise, all your time goes in Netflix binging. So I think interests have a very, and they also, in life, you need to have some right brain activity, you need to have some left brain activity. So both are necessary. So one of the things that really helps me is music. So I like to listen to all sorts of music. I sing also occasionally. But music helps me, especially when I've noticed that if I'm feeling very down and oppressed and it's very overwhelming, some days are just very difficult. If I listen to music or if I just dance to any, music that I play, whether it's 70s dance music or Bollywood, it really helps move the energy. Plus this quarantine, I started playing the guitar again and composing
Oh, wow.
songs, which started happening on its own. So music has a big place in my life, for my mental health. And the other thing I love to do is reading. So this year alone, I've read 50 books.
Wow.
That. Many of them are short. I read very fast. So like I can finish an average novel in like 4 hours. So it doesn't take me very long. But reading also, plus writing, blogging, writing about my experiences, that also flows. So any kind of creative pursuits. Unfortunately, I'm not very good with plants, although even I would love to plant things. Somehow they don't survive very
Right
long.
there with you, which is why, so much more for Soumya. Yeah.
I was like, wow, I would love to have those, but somehow it's not, I don't have such a green thumb. Yeah, but I think music, dancing and, listening to music and singing and reading, writing, those interests have come up in terms of helping me through this time and re-blossoming in my life because I have more time now.
Love it. Love it. And because, you opened up that avenue for yourself as well. Because there's always options. There's always the option to complain and, to lament. Or there is the option to enjoy suddenly whatever chaos you have, make the best of it, and then pick up and go with the activities that are available to you at that time. Thank you. And I see where all of, so much of this lightness and magic comes from. Thanks for that, Sumi. Samya. All right.
All right. So, like I said, I'm not an avid gardener, or I don't, like some of our friends do. I've not gotten into maintaining a veggie bed and growing my own produce and all of that. But I do have my connection with my plants. I have a curry leaf and a holy basil or tulasi. I have mint, 4 different kinds of mint, and I have 2 different kinds of basil. And the curry leaves have been so, they've been so prolific and they've grown so well. I've ended up giving away saplings to my friends. And same goes for mint. So that gives me pleasure, it gives me joy. Some of them asked me, can we give you something for it? How much is it? I said, no, it's just take it and give it a good home. That would not, that would be the best pleasure for me to know that they have a good home and they're being enjoyed by people who love them. So I think that was one of my main interests this year. Another is music, like Sumi said. I'm also into music. I've learned Carnatic for about growing up on and off for about 7 to 8 years. So that is my base. But I also enjoy Bollywood karaoke singing. I'm part of a group that used to meet every couple of months. But since the lockdown, we've done a few online sessions via Zoom, and we are some kind of online platform. So that's been keeping me going. Another thing is my fitness, which I couldn't go to the gym or do anything else, but I started my home workouts. I did those when I could. And I could walk when I could when the weather's nice. So that's what keeps me going. I've read a few books, not as many as Sumi, but my job keeps me occupied. I took up a new job since, in fact, March 23rd is when I started my new job. It was a completely different environment because I now work for a biotech directly instead of a CRO. So there was a lot of there was a learning curve to it. There were new processes and new people. The environment was new. Everything was new. So it took me a while to get settled there. So I think it was a great opportunity to be able to do that while everybody was under one roof.
Any tips for people who might actually actively be destroying their own plans? My story is, and really, I'm on repeat mode. I mean, nothing changes. Each spring, very with a lot of excitement, I'll pick out like a variety of different plants, and produce items. The tomatoes, the peppers, the cucumbers, eggplant, chili, what else? Cantaloupe, watermelon, and
Wow,
zucchinis. I'm telling you, squashes.
you're so ambitious.
I'm telling you, there's so much for my ambition, but I just lack so badly in actually caring for them. And the parents, the plants reflect that lack of care back at me.
I think you need to invite Soumya over so she can sing to your plants and
No,
just be there,
Hey,
give
but I
them.
need a disclaimer.
it's not even those babies, Soumya. You need to work your magic on me. I'm the
Oh,
culprit. And I don't care for my babies, my plant babies. So, any tips for that?
oh, I think the key is to start small and start with a few plants at a time. Make sure you do your research, and every plant doesn't need the same amount of water, the same you know even if it's organic, they don't need the same amount of fertilizers. They don't need the same amount of sunlight. So you want to make sure you place them such a way that they get the right amount of sunlight, and don't water them every day. Make sure that you water them only when they need to be watered. And I think, like you said, it's great that you have the enthusiasm, but I would say start small. Start with 2 plants and then go to 3 or 4 plants the next season, and so on and so forth.
And get a little level headed here, right? And recognize my track record basically. And acknowledge that.
I would say one thing, not that I have not killed a plant, I have killed a few, but the key is to not give up and do it all over again.
Wow.
Lovely, lovely. So let's see how this conversation goes, maybe this time next year. I'll keep you posted. Okay, lovely. So fun chit-chatting here, ladies. I don't know, any ideas, thoughts, questions that you have of your own that you would like to ignite tonight in our
I want to ask Soumya a question. So I was reading about you, and you said you speak 6 languages. Do you? Or how many? You speak many
Yeah,
many languages, right? So that was that. I was
I'm
like,
not.
how did you end up speaking so many different languages? Like, what exposure did you have in life for you to be able to do that?
So I grew up in Mumbai, as you know. So Hindi and Marathi are like second languages for me. My native language is Tamil, but it has a heavy Malayalam influence because I'm a Keralite Tamilian. So we used to watch both Malayalam and Tamil movies at home, in addition to Hindi and Marathi. So there's 4 languages right there. And English, of course, because I went to a girls' convent. So that was the crux. Bombay being a cosmopolitan place, we also have the Gujarati influence. So I learned a bit of Gujarati. And then my father got transferred to Hyderabad for 5 years, so I picked up Telugu.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of languages. So you can
Yeah.
watch movies in all of these languages.
Pretty much. And there's one more language that I didn't mention. I'm not very fluent at it, so I didn't mention that, but I can understand it because of the musical influence, which is Kannada. So basically I can understand all four South Indian languages.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. So it was not Duolingo. You know that.
I've always had a flair for languages.
Yeah.
At school, I sucked at math and physics, but I did great at languages. That's my secret.
Actually, learning languages is great for our brain. So that's great. Good. I was curious. Thank you for sharing with us. That was my question.
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. I had fun answering it.
I also wanted to ask you about plants because that was another, but we already discussed that. So that was my question.
Sure. Sure.
Beautiful, beautiful. Somewhere you want to have your, okay.
Yeah, so I'd like to have a go with Sumi. I think we already kind of spoke about things that kind of overlap with this, and you already, answered it in a way. So pardon my reiteration, I'm going to ask you the other question. How do you are a pediatrician by qualification, and now you're an art of living instructor and guide and mentor to so many people. And that is such a wonderful change you see in yourself. How do you wear your different hats with so much ease, and what is the secret to always having that gorgeous smile behind your face, on your face?
Just for full disclosure, I'm not working as a pediatrician anymore. So that, I do have the qualification. I can unofficially advise people, but I don't see patients. And I do miss seeing babies and little kids. They're so adorable. But yes, but I mean, right now my full focus is to share the knowledge of meditation and this ancient wisdom with everybody. So, how do I wear? I think the important thing is that whatever you do in life, you take yourself with you. Like you don't become a different person because you are a mom or when you are, at work. Yes, you may have a different like outfit like that. You may have a different little bit of, persona, but you are the same person. So when I used to work as a pediatrician also, parents of younger children would feel very comfortable with me because my presence was so calming for them, especially first time parents, or my staff would say that I'm always smiling. So I think it just happens, the more natural you are, the more grounded you are with who you really are. Like if you're more comfortable with yourself, and it has been a journey for me. I didn't always enjoy my own company so much, but I have come to love myself and I adore myself. So so the more comfortable you are in your own skin, I think then that carries with you whatever role you do, and it doesn't really matter where you are, what you're doing. You are who you are, and that's what you take with you.
And that's exactly how kids are as well, right? They're just so comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah.
And they're just so joyful.
Yeah.
Beautiful thing a friend of mine shared just the other day, that she was having this conversation with her daughter, with her 7 or 8-year-old, that who does she love, right? The daughter. And the daughter named the parents and their pet. And then she said, but I love me the most. And my friend said, that was just such a beautiful quality and so uplifting and so empowering, and something that we all need to remind ourselves of. Let's not forget to love our own self. Thank you for being a part of my life, and thank you for all the joy that you are bringing around you wherever you're at. Thank you for making this world more beautiful. And thank you for embodying this badass Shakti, this beautiful Devi energy. And thank you for being the rocking divas that you are.
Thank you. Thank you too.
Yeah.
Looking forward to enjoying this journey further with you. Thank you, my lovely girlfriends, and thank you everyone for being on the journey with us. And thank you for having watched this show. Catch you next time. Till then, work hard, party harder.
And take care of yourself.
Bye.